All right. Good morning on a Saturday. Thank you for everyone who kind of woke up early and came over here to listen to Anıl,
Yeah.
who
Hello.
I have the pleasure of speaking to. He's not only our portfolio company, but also an avid boxer,
Yeah.
an arts kind of major who wanted to be a curator, which I very recently learned.
Yeah.
A newly met, he just married. When did you got married? When did you get
15th
married?
of August.
Yes, so
Yeah.
very, very recently, and obviously the more important portion of the equation is that he's the founder of Cypher Games, which we'll get more into. They very recently announced a $30 million raise, so congrats on that. Obviously.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So yes, let's begin, and let's begin with a bit of who you are and how you ended up here, because you are. I know of you, at least, from the boring private equity world that I used to be in as well. So what was the transition from, being a private equity guy into a gaming founder?
Actually, it was more like a gaming guy who worked at private equity back then. So when I was studying in college, I met Hakan, the founder of Ace Games, and I joined his team, I would say, in the early days. And back then there was no Ace, it was 2018. So Hakan had, as you know, he's a close friend of yours. He had Lidiana, an e-commerce company, an esports team, a couple animation companies, so on and so forth. So we were working together. I started working as his assistant and his chief of staff kind of. Then I was like, Abi, let's build a gaming company, and he was into it from his early peak days.
Yeah, because he used to be on the peak co-founding team as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then we were like, oh, okay, let's do it. Then by early 2019, when I was about to graduate from college, we founded Ace together. Then initially they chose their own path in doing hyper casual, and I left, and I was looking out for a job. That's why, and there was no very big gaming company except Peak back then doing casual, especially in Turkey. And I want to stay in Turkey for some reasons. Like my wife was doing a master's back then. So I joined Oliver Wyman, then I was about to leave again, then I joined Turkven, where we worked on consumer tech investments. We looked at almost all of the gaming deals in Turkey, but we probably missed all of them, I would say. Then at some point, my best friends, some of them exited to Zynga, their company, Zero Sum Games. Then we said, okay, let's do it together, and we founded Cypher back in 2022. In June, and the rest is the story. We can deep dive into it.
So you were the guy who turned into mobile, but in the beginning you were saying you liked games in the first place anyway, and with this the Ace story as well. What made you appreciate that gaming landscape even before? Obviously today gaming is this big hype in Turkey, and there are a lot of gaming founders. Everyone wants to be a gaming founder, but back then, what were you interested in? More around mobile, casual, PC games. What was the background?
Yeah, I was always into gaming because I was studying in a boarding school in Turkey at high school, and my co-founders are from my high school. Some of them.
Galatasaray, right?
Yeah, Galatasaray. So. Then you were studying together and living together, and we were always playing games because there's nothing else you can do. It's kind of like a jail. You cannot leave the school when you're a boarding student. And we were just playing games. Then iPhone came up when we were at high school, probably 9th grade. And we started playing mobile games. And back then, initially, for example, I was playing Backyard Monsters, and one day a company called Supercell was founded and made Clash of Clans. And I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of a very good copycat, but probably a better version of Backyard Monsters. We started playing Clash of Clans and Candy Crush and everything, and Fruit Ninjas. Then when we were in college, we learned about, okay, somebody's doing gaming, and there's a gaming company in Turkey, Peak. What are they doing? What does a gaming company do? Then we started thinking around it. And then I started working with Hakan. Actually, a dream turned into a profession thereafter. For 3-4 years after college, I didn't do it, but at some point I was like, I have to do it. And you remember that day. And initially, when I was at Turkmen as well, some of our colleagues and my, mentors, I would say, they were pushing me to do it, thankfully. And then one day I left and we founded Cypher.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then let's get into Cypher a little bit then.
Yeah,
so
sure.
you guys are, how big is the team now?
55.
55 people team.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like, what kind of games do you
Yeah.
want to create, and have you created
Yeah.
as well so far?
Yeah, actually we have just one game called Match Squad, as you know. It's a casual game. We build casual, we are trying to build casual IPs. That's what we are trying to do. Not only games, but all the, everything around the IPs. We are trying to create IPs and build games around it. So our structure is more like, we want to have the casual users play for hours per day. That's the main target. And for now, we are building a match 3 game. So there are 2 big genres in the casual space, in the casual mobile space. One is the spins and luck battles, I would say, and the other is match 3. So Match Squad is the first game that brings both into under one roof in a game. So our game is you play match 3, you get 2 currencies. One is a meta building currency, the other is a dice. So you upgrade your town and move forward, and in the meantime you can roll the dice and have the chance-based, luck-based rewards. As you know, like the dice has 6 faces, so in 3 of them we put social interaction. One is attack, heist, and shield, so you can interact with your friends, others, opponents, your team members, so on and so forth, and the remaining 3 are jackpot and reward currencies. So this is a game we are building. As of now, like by probably 2027, we'll start building our second game. And we already wrote the game design deck, but we'll start by 2027.
Nice.
It's going to be casual again.
Cool. And the Match Squad, can they download it like today on the
Yeah,
App Store?
you can download it.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
They can play it as well. Then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's dive a bit deeper into gaming then. Like in terms of mobile gaming in Turkey, most of what we see as well is obviously in puzzle. I think most of what Turkey does is in puzzle. And in terms of match 3 as well, it has been a very competitive market in recent years, definitely, in terms of the companies that are coming out and everyone's trying to raise and all that sort of stuff. What do you think, like as an organization, what do you try to spend time on, and how do you try to differentiate? What makes you different than what exists out there?
Yeah, sure. So when we started, the main question was, what do we want to do? So initially we tried a linker game for 1.5 years. We built a team around it. We built Cypher for that 18-month period. And 1.5 years ago, by early 2024, as you remember, we said we want to do match 3, and a perfect match 3 this time. But when we see all the games out there, there were perfect enough games. The games that we already love, we've been playing for years, like Royal Match, like Candy Crush, Homescapes, this and that, like too many games. We were like, okay, how can we differentiate here? And in the meantime, Royal Kingdom was already at launch as well, which I like a lot personally. And we were like, okay, how can we find a differentiation ground here? But we want to do match 3, that's what we want to do. So we said, what's lacking? We believe 2 things were lacking, and the third one was not lacking. I'll tell the third one as well. So the 2 lacking parts was, one was perfect, pure social interaction, like you can see in luck battles. The real social, so the real PvP, but an async PvP, a casual PvP. So that was a lacking part. And the second thing is, an additional game in under one game was a lacking part. Because like, existing games, existing core games were already great enough. So the barrier to entry was so high, and it's still so high. Like I wouldn't say we passed that threshold yet. Hope will. That's why we focus on, okay, how can we put a luck-based mechanic here? Because I'm a big slots player, personally myself. I love it. I love building slot games too, and one day I hope we'll do it as well. So I was like, okay, can we bring that chance-based mechanic under the match 3 roof? Because we believe match 3 was already not a very skill-based game. So if a game is skill-based, either you have that skill or you have to develop that skill. But at match 3, it's more like somewhere in the middle. Yeah. It's not like chess, but it's not like dice either. So somewhere in the middle. And we said, okay, why are not we adding a full-time live ops as a side game, which is the dice game. So that's how we started. And we believe the third thing, which was not lacking and which many of the companies tried to innovate on, was differentiation in the core mechanic or differentiation in themes. So, okay, like the guy has a, I don't know, a royal background, let me put a something else background. I don't want to talk about other companies. So something else background or something else storyline. That's not what people are playing for. Of course, IPs are very important. But on the other side, people are playing the games because they love the structure, they love the core, and they love the overall feeling. So if you just change the content, you made a royal theme, you made a candy theme, so let me make a travel theme.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out. That's what we believed in, and that's what we are currently focusing on.
And then what? How do you differentiate on that? Like what works? Like what do you, or as like Match Squad, what is there that's more than a team?
In terms of the game?
Yes.
So yeah, like first, there's a real core social in the game. So people love it, and people love interacting with each other. That's what we realized when we started testing. And second thing we realized was people love our theme and the storyline around that theme. So if we can bring that storyline from one side and bring an innovation on the core mechanic in the pure gameplay, when they play our game, so people don't decide playing your game when they start playing your game. They decide playing your game when they go back to their original gameplay. So you play 7,000 levels of Candy Crush, you start playing Match Squad, you are not making your decision yet. You're gonna make your decision when you go back to Candy Crush again. So when you play Candy Crush, you should feel something is lacking. So, but you shouldn't define that. So what do I mean by that? I mean, this rocket is hitting Manhattan, like a plus. Or that bomb is, I don't know, exploding 9 cells compared to 5 cells. That's not how people make their decisions in gaming. It's kind of like a luxury good. When you eat a chocolate, you don't ask like the percent, like sugar rate
the content
in that, or the ingredients in that chocolate. You just eat it and you're like, okay, I loved it. Then you eat the other chocolate again and you're like, okay, I'm 100% sure I'm gonna eat that chocolate from now on. So I believe that's what we did very good, and we are, of course, like it's not there yet. We don't like many of the visualization in the product, as you know, and we are changing and polishing all of them. But I believe the core in the DICE core plus a funny, fully VFX-heavy, fast-paced gameplay is what people loved because we try to bring a TikTok of gameplays versus Facebook, Instagram of gameplays. A faster gameplay, a faster content consumption was our main thesis, and we believe it's working out.
So you did mention a lot of sort of things to do with tastes as well over there. So, you know, the analogy to, you know, luxury goods and chocolates and all that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of taste in gaming as well in terms of your choices of what you want to build. But on the other hand, I'm sure there are a lot of, you know, engineering and sort of A/B testing and data on the back end that, you know, drives you to make decisions. So how do you balance the two, and how does a gaming company sort of make decisions within that framework?
Yeah, so first you have to have a great team, but like the team, so the thing that differentiates gaming companies from other businesses like B2B businesses or even other B2C businesses is you have too many diverse backgrounds. Like you have designers, you have pure artists, you have pure engineers, and you have to gather all these people around one table. So sometimes a reason is artistic, sometimes a reason is pure statistical. So you have to understand where it comes from. Usually in the early days you feel like that's because of the visualization, or that's because of that, I don't know, specific visual, as you might know, like that specific pixel. But then you start realizing, okay, it's not about that. Like people don't care a lot about the pixel quality, but instead sometimes that feeling overall is better. And you drive that feeling through quantification of your analysis, your level churn rates, your level balancing, your difficulty, and the claim that you make. So if that's a hard level, that should be a hard level. If that's not a hard level, that shouldn't be that hard. You always make those claims and you try to understand, okay, where's my churn at? Is it because of that gameplay, or is it because of that feeling, or is it because of that meta game that I couldn't have connected, or the feedbacks, or the reward loop, whatever. So, or maybe there's no churn, but you cannot monetize, and you start analyzing, okay, where is that coming from? Am I giving too much overpowered boosters, IP, live ops, or anything? So that's why after some time, you get that, you understand getting that gist, and you get that gut feeling. And then you start innovating on it and trying to find out the loophole over there.
And the execution, like quote unquote execution, like being a good executor is practically that, probably, right?
Yeah,
like balancing that art and design and taste side of things with a lot of data that you guys gather on the back end.
Art is the first step. Then, as of the second step, art is not a problem anymore. Art is a problem up until you deliver it, up until you ship the product. Then, as of you ship the product, then it's pure like statistical ground. Then you start analyzing, okay, where should my paywalls like remain at, or what kind of a curve should I chase for? What kind of a retention profile should I look for? Are the main questions as of that moment.
Got it. And since it's 2025 and AI is a big thing, they sort of will kill me if I don't ask AI questions.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
How much of the game has some sort of back-end kind of workflow input from an AI perspective? Like, is there an AI that you guys use in level design? Do you do anything on the back-end in terms of art? How does it work?
Yeah, so first of all, nowadays, many of the machine learning algorithms are also called AI.
Yeah, that's also true.
Which are not. Some of the, even like there are guys that are using solvers as AI. When you ask me like, do you use AI? Yeah, like partially. But when you ask me from that perspective, yeah, of course.
Use algorithms.
Yeah, we use algorithms for sure. So we build our own algorithms for level design and analyzing level design, like analyzing which obstacles we should use at this specific level, or at this, I don't know, level bracket, like 10 levels back to back, like which obstacles should we use and for how many times. How many times did we use it for 100 levels, for 1,000 levels, so on and so forth. Of course, we are using that for statistical analysis. We are also building all these analysis tools for our, especially luck-based game, so that we can understand our reward loops and everything, and we can test it a million times. At the back end, the answer is yes. Like but we are building them ourselves. We are also planning to use some outsource AI for data analysis and everything. There are very good companies coming up at that stage. And on the other side, we are using artistic AI, let's say, image generation and everything. But for now, especially like if you're building a hyper casual to a like less artistic visual targeting games, if you are building those, you can use AI today. You can even use it for end product. But I believe if you're building a casual game, which you want to be a IPable game, every single pixel quality is very important, then it's not there yet. But you can use it for concept design. It's of course helping a lot to like easing out the communication in between the product people and the visual people, like the artistic people. So that, okay, like I was thinking about this, a thing like that, so like what do you think?
For prototyping.
Exactly,
like,
for prototyping.
Brainstorming and
brainstorming,
stuff like that.
exactly. Exactly, so yeah, like these are the areas we are using it.
Got it.
But not for the end product.
For the end product, for a casual IP game, you still need that polish from
exactly.
That's
and
very
consistent.
manual.
Most important thing is consistency. Even if it's not 10 out of 10, if it's 9 out of 10, that's also okay, but it should be consistent. It should be 9 out of 10 everywhere. So that's the reason.
So to create that kind of a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, both consistency but also quality, obviously, you guys need a good team, and you said, there's sort of 55 really, really strong guys over here. How do you put together that talent in Turkey nowadays, especially given, there's a lot of gaming startups, a lot of people raising money, obviously. How do you convince people to join Cypher rather than anywhere else and, build a strong team? Yeah,
actually, like, with 3 things, I would say, I guess. One is, so when you talk to people, investors, game producers, especially game producers that are outside of Turkey, you'll always hear things like, casual space is a red ocean, and the other spaces, they quote it like the others are blue oceans, but which I don't think so. But the thing is, if you want to have the best people around you, you have to have the best project. In order to have the best project, you have to have the hardest project. Because then you start convincing all these people.
People like challenging problems.
Yeah, because like when you challenge these people, even in the early days, like I and like one of my co-founders, we were doing all the visuals, we were doing all the UIs and everything, because we couldn't have found a great UI artist. Then one day we found a great UI artist, who is working with us still, one of our best colleagues. So we said, bro, like, you see, he's like, oh yeah, that's awful. I'm like, yeah, I know it because I made it. And you want to do it better. Then he said, yeah, of course, I'll do it better. Then you start convincing people. If you have the best project and hardest project, that's the most important thing that retains those people. Not money or not any other financial benefit, because those financial benefits are hygiene factors. People are not joining Cypher or any other company just for money. They might, but those people are not already okay with you because you want to have the hardest project and you want to do the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
When people ask me like, how are you gonna beat those guys? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know either. But we'll see. If you want to be a part of this ship and if you believe in our vision, join us. And we are always flexible in the details and giving all the space to you. So that's probably the second reason. So compared to exactly, yeah, compared to other companies, other studios, like I don't want to talk badly about the other ones. I respect them a lot, but like Cypher is a product company. Cypher is not a product person company. So at Cypher, we don't tell out loud like to a developer or marketing person or an artist, oh, like, is there a dragon over there? Yes, like paint it to purple and gold. That's not how we work. We are like, okay, what do you want to do? Is it a dragon? Yeah, let's do it. You want to paint it purple and gold? That's okay. If that's something else, and if that's something that we didn't like, we can tell it out loud, and the person is not getting that like personal. He's like, okay, let me build another one. So that's the culture we are building, and people know it. And the third thing would be we are super young. We are the youngest team delivering a casual product in Turkey. So there are great companies that have the same average age as we do, like our friends, as you know. Yeah. And they are doing hybrid casual to hyper casual titles, but we are the youngest team doing a casual title in Turkey. So that's why, especially young people, they want to be a part of our environment. I believe these are the reasons.
Cool. And obviously the recent $30 million round probably helps as well.
Yeah.
So both from that kind of a perspective, jumping into that, convincing not only talent, but also some quite good investors like Play and Rain and Ricardo from King and all of these, Humam, all of these sort of really, really strong gaming figures, is a tough ordeal. So how did you manage that? Like what made you convince those guys that you can raise a 30 million plus rounds with this team?
Yeah, for sure. So actually, by 2024, we started building Match Squad, and a couple months after, as you might remember, we got some offers from reputable international companies, venture funds, and other strategics, everything. Then Humam was with us. Humam was back then, he got retired from Activision Blizzard. He was the vice chairman of Activision Blizzard. Then, right now, he's the CEO of Discord. So he was like, I loved you and I want to give you money. So why are not you taking it? I'm like, I'll take it. It was right after we raised 3.5 million, led by Play and joined by you guys. Then he turned into our mentor. And one day he was like, let's raise. And he brought Rain in, and a team that I loved a lot. So we got 10 million, and he also, like Ricardo Zacconi, the founder of King, is one of the best friends of him. So back then, Ricardo was the CEO and chairman of King, and Humam was the president. So then he said, Ricardo wants to meet you one day. Then I said, okay, like when? He said, in 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm coming back from a wedding, like, shall we make it in 20 minutes? He's like, okay. It was 8:30, I guess, on a Sunday night. Then we had a chat with Ricardo for 6-7 hours, back to back, on a Zoom call. Next morning at 9 a.m. he said, like, how much you want? Yeah, I'm joining. Then he joined Barry Cottle, one of my favorite companies, CEO, Light & Wonder, biggest slot game company in the world. So he joined, and then Rain led the round. So thereafter, we started building Match Squad again, like polishing and doing everything from scratch, all the visuals and feelings and development marketing. Last year in September, and we are a very fast team. And our investors were like, back in April, you are one of those. You were like, let's race.
Yeah.
Then we got some offers from you guys and some others, some international ones, strategics, this and that. Then by June, we said, okay, we are raising 100%. Our initial plan was raising 20 million, 2021, 22, something around that. Then, with that interest, it went up to
you got oversubscribed,
30.
right?
Yeah, it got oversubscribed more actually, but like at some
You had
point
to
we were
stop
like,
at
yeah,
some point.
we have to stop at some point.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what's maybe just to, I guess we're coming to the end of time a little bit. So maybe just as a closing, what are the next steps for you guys? What are you going to do with that 30 million, and what should people expect from you in the next year?
Yeah. First, we'll expand the team. That's the most important thing. When people ask me this question, they always want to hear the marketing strategies and everything. But like, we invest a lot in people, and we are going to keep investing in people. So the second thing is, of course, like, we'll start scaling in the US by early December this year, and by Q2 2026, we want to start scaling, like we go big. So it's kind of like the soft launch first in December, then by April to May, we'll go up. And these are the two things we'll use this amount for in the coming days.
Are you doing the other game in parallel? Like
no,
starting
not
it
yet.
Now? Not yet, right?
Not yet, but like by probably early 2027, let's say. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, and yeah, all the best.